Classes continue our discussion on individuals. So we're done with basic income tax. Let's proceed to the second one, final withholding tax or FWT. Okay, so three things to remember for final withholding tax. Number one, this applies to passive income. Take note, passive income. Okay, as opposed to basic income tax. Yung basic income tax applies to active income. As we discussed earlier, nandyan yung kapag employed ka, okay, or may business or exercise a profession. So these are examples of active income. Where final withholding tax, passive income naman siya. Alright? So ano yung examples of passive income? Tingin tayo sa G-sheets natin. So let's refer to the second table. So notice, nilagay ko yung items dyan sa left side. And then sa right side naman, nandyan yung classification of taxpayers. Right? So isa-isayin natin class, briefly lang. Though yung mga rates na yan, mga tax rates na yan, kailangan memorize mo siya pagdating sa pre-board exam and in the actual board exam. Pero as we answer our handouts, okay lang kahit mag-refer tayo from time to time until maging familiar tayo. Alright? First item is interest or interest income. So number one, interest on Philippine currency bank deposit. Okay, so ganito yung class. Pag nag-open ka na, let's say, peso bank deposit or savings account, for example, kay BDO, pag nag-earn ng interest yun, subject siya sa 20% final withholding tax. Alright? Except NRA and ATB. NRA and ATB, as you notice, subject yan sa 25% final withholding tax as I discussed earlier. Alright? Now, kapag naman yung deposit mo is a foreign currency deposit, yung second item, for example, instead of peso savings account, ang inopen mo is dollar savings account. Ang tawag doon, foreign currency deposit under the expanded foreign currency deposit system or FCDS. In that case, mas mababa yung tax rate mo, it's 15%. Actually, 15% siya for residents, and then yung mga non-residents such as NRC and NRA exempt sila. Alright? Next, interest from long-term deposit or investments with maturity of not less than 5 years. Okay, so if at least 5 years yung maturity for the long-term deposit, exempt naman yung interest income doon. Got it? Now, if pre-terminate mo siya, okay? Pag pre-terminate mo siya, ang mangyayari doon, class, magiging taxable yun if more than 5 years na natitira na term, exempt pa rin yan. Again, yung 5 years yung important na threshold. Then, kapag between 4 to 5 years, 5%, 3 to 4 years, 12%, and then less than 3 years, 20%. So, habang naging shorter yung period, tumataas yung tax rate. 5%, 12%, and 20%. Got it? So, that's the first example of passive income, which is interest income. Second, royalties. Okay, depende kung saan galing yung royalties. Number one, royalties from books, literary works, and musical compositions, 10% yan. So, books yung mga authors, okay, literary works, musical compositions. For example, kasi yung sa Spotify, yung mga yan, nag-earn ng royalties yan. Okay? Now, it's 10%. If naman royalties naman, others, nakalagay dyan. So, ibig sabihin, if it's not coming from books, literary works, and musical composition, 20% naman yung tax rate. Got it? Pero syempre, kapag NRA, NETB ka, 25% lahat yan. Okay? Next is prices. Prices, yung important dito class is the 10,000 peso threshold. If the prices amount to 10,000 or less, yung magiging subject to tax table yan. When I say tax table, yung graduated income tax table na ginagamit natin earlier, okay, sa handouts natin. Alright, if naman yung prices over 10,000, subject to 20%. Okay? Ayan. Winnings, depende. Kapag yung winnings mo from PCSO and Lotto winnings, yung threshold pa rin natin is 10,000. 10,000 or less, exempt. Okay? More than 10,000, 20%. And then if winnings other than PCSO and Lotto, 20%. Alright? Next is dividends. Dividends, later, i-discuss natin yan kasi may mga konting complications yan. Later natin i-discuss yan. Next is share in net income. Basically, dito about partnership yan. May separate session tayo sa partnership, doon na lang natin i-discuss yan. So, FYI muna, kasama yan sa passive income. Alright? So, focus muna tayo, class, on interest, royalties, prizes, and winnings. Okay, so that's number one. Let's go to the second characteristic of final withholding tax. Final withholding taxes are withheld at source. Okay? And this is paid by the payer or the withholding agent. Withholding agent. Sir, what do you mean by withheld at source? So, bigyan natin ng example. For example, class, meron tayong bank deposit kay BDO. Alright? So, let's say, nag-open tayo ng 1 million na savings account. No? Yung savings account, nag-earn ng interest. Yung maliit lang, pero nag-earn pa rin ng interest. Okay? Mag-earn tayo ng interest kay BDO. Let's say, nag-earn tayo ng interest income na 1,000 pesos. Okay, interest income. Now, we learned from earlier sa table natin, kapag interest income na Philippine currency bank deposit, 20%. So, ibig sabihin, class, yung 1,000 pesos na interest income na yan is subject to final withholding tax of 20%. So, that's 200. Tama? Ang marireceive mo lang talaga dyan is 800. So, pansinin nyo yung mga passbook nyo, okay, sa mga transactions. Makikita nyo, class, pag nag-earn kayo ng interest income, din-deduct na agad ni BDO yung final withholding tax sa 20%. So, pansinin nyo yan. Ang ibig sabihin ng class, ang tawag natin doon is withheld at source. It means, class, yung 200 na yan, right? I-remit na yan agad ni BDO to BIR. Yung 200 na final withholding tax, i-withhold ni BDO kay BIR. Hindi mo na marireceive yan. Ang marireceive mo lang, okay, is 800. Right? So, yun yung tinatawag na withheld at source. Okay? So, instead of giving you 1,000, tapos ikaw magbabayad ng 200 kay BIR, hindi ganun. Yung mga final withholding taxes na yan, ang marireceive mo na yung net amount, ang bahala dyan mag-remit is the payer or the withholding agent, which is BDO. Okay? Withheld at source. Number 3. Okay, income, so write this down, income subject to final withholding tax, okay, is no longer part of taxable income, okay? Income subject to final withholding tax is no longer part of taxable income, okay? So for example, kasi tayo si Mr. X, tayo yung nag-deposit kay BDO. And then, April 15, magpe-prepare tayo ng ITR, right? ITR, ayan. Yung ITR natin, syempre, magiging subject yan sa tax table. Tama lang? Okay. Tax table or 8%. So, depende sa classification. Depende sa source of income. Anyway, so sabi dito class, yung income subject to final withholding tax is no longer part of your taxable income, which is yung sa ITR natin. Nandiyan kasi yung taxable income natin. Tama? Now, yung interest income na 1,000 na yung class, hindi na pupunta dito yan. Kasi na-subject na yan sa final tax. Kaya tinawag siya na final. Alright? Ibig sabihin, once na subject na ito final tax, yun na yun. Yun yung final na i-impose na tax sa kanya. Otherwise, pansinin nyo class ha, kapag anong nangyari dito, yung interest income na 1,000, nilagay mo pa sa ITR mo. Masasubject ko sa tax table yan. Anong tawag natin doon? Direct double taxation. Alright? So again, tandaan mo, income subject to final withholding tax is no longer part of taxable income. So hindi na siya pupunta dito sa ITR mo. Right? Lagyan natin ng X. Hindi na pupunta sa ITR mo yan. Kasi na-withhold niya ni BDO to BIR. Alright, so 3 characteristics of final withholding tax. And then, ito gusto ko rin i-highlight. No? So marami na dito. But basically, tignan natin class yung, meron tayong 2 types of withholding taxes. Withholding taxes. Okay, so listen very carefully. Withholding taxes. Number 1 is final withholding tax. Okay na tayo dyan. Na-discuss ko na yan. Applies to passive income, withheld at source, and income subject to final withholding tax is no longer part of taxable income. Meron pa tayong pangalawa class. We call this the creditable withholding tax or CWT. Okay? CWT, creditable withholding tax. May 2 types din yan. Under CWT, pwede siyang withholding tax on compensation, okay, or expanded withholding tax. Nababasa niyo yan? Okay? CWT, EWT, okay? Iba-iba yung meaning yan. So, i-discuss natin yung class. So, kaya tayo dito sa FWT, dito tayo sa creditable withholding tax. Ito yung 2 characteristics niya. Number 1, creditable withholding taxes can be deducted, okay, can be deducted from basic income tax. Okay, so illustrate ko later. And income subject to CWT is part of taxable income. Okay, so dito muna tayo sa second one. Natala ito yung first, okay? 1 and then 2. Alright, number 1. So dali ko na lang. Dapat ito yung inuna ko. Anyway, so CWT, income subject to CWT is part of taxable income. As opposed to this one, income subject to FWT is no longer part of taxable income. So, ibig sabihin, class, yung CWT na yan, pag magpe-prepare ka ng ITR sa April 15, isasama mo siya dyan. Okay? And then, i-deduct mo siya. Can be deducted from basic income tax. Okay, so later, expound natin yan. But, refer muna tayo sa G-sheets natin para mas ma-appreciate nyo siya. Okay, so yung next item na makikita mo dyan, class, is the creditable withholding tax. Withholding tax on compensation. So, ganito nangyayari yung class. But, balik tayo sa example natin sa mga working reviewees. Mga working reviewees natin, employed, every 15th and 30th, nakaka-receive ka ng payslip mo. Tama? Pero, class, yung sa payslip mo na yun, kung mapapansin mo na, nakalagay doon, okay, salaries, and then meron kang less SSS, pag-ibig, PhilHealth, etc. Less withholding tax. Okay? Kasi, class, ang nangyayari doon, pag saan mo withholding tax on compensation, ito yung estimated income tax payment sa'yo. Alright. So technically kasi ganito yung class. Dapat April 15 pababayaran yung mga taxes na yan. Tama? Pero kung mapapansin mo, 15 and 30th, wini-withhold na agad ng employer mo kay BIR. Alright? Kasi ang sa point of view ni BIR, well, faster collection yun. Instead of waiting up to April 15, ngayon pa lang nako-collect na ni BIR. Alright? And yung employer mo, ang tawag sa kanya, siya si payer or withholding agent. Siya yung liable or siya yung may responsibility na i-remit yun kay BIR. Alright? So now, sir, paano kino-compute ng employer ko yun? Gumagamit siya ng withholding tax table. So, open natin class yung link. Naglagay ako ng 4 na links dyan. Meron tayong tinatawag na withholding tax table and withholding tax calculator. Okay, para ma-appreciate nyo lang siya. Withholding tax table, if you click the link, makikita mo dyan, depende actually kung kailan yung frequency ng sweldo mo. Pwedeng daily, weekly, semi-monthly, and monthly. Okay? So yung class, well, ang normal dyan is semi-monthly, but depende sa frequency, and then papakita dyan yung tax rates. Okay? Tax table siya basic. Parang expanded na tax table siya. So now, ito yung magiging basis of your payroll department, yung employer mo, kung how much yung i-withhold na tax for that pay, for that month, okay? For that payroll, alright? Or, instead of manually computing, pwede mag-refer na lang siya sa withholding tax calculator. Ito naman yung ginagamit in practice. So as you notice, sa withholding tax calculator, ang ilalagay mo lang dyan kung yung period na sumesweldo ka, alright? Basic salary mo, SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, so fill out mo lang yan, and then automatic siya na magko-compute kung how much yung withholding tax. And that withholding tax, ibabawas na agad sa sweldo mo yun. Hindi mo na ma-receive yun. Yung withholding tax na yun, i-remit na ni employer mo to BAR. Gets? Okay. Pero, sabi ko dito, class, can be deducted from basic income tax. Ibig sabihin, class, kapag nag-prepare ka ng ITR, April 15, okay, yung income subject to CWT, which is yung salaries mo, itutotal lahat yun, okay? Ilalagay sa ITR mo, i-annualize siya. Alright? Lalagay siya. Now, yung ma-compute na annual tax due doon, annual tax due, okay, pwede mong i-minus yung nabayaran mo na dito. Okay? So, ang gagawin mo doon, annual tax due minus yung withholding tax on compensation, meron kang income tax payable, ito pa yung kailangan mong bayaran kay BIR. Okay, so ulitin natin. First, income subject to CWT is part of taxable income, pupunta pa rin siya dito. Okay, yung total salaries mo for the year, pupunta siya dito. But, since nakapagbayad ka na kay BIR through withholding taxes, pwede mong i-deduct yan from basic income tax. So again, tinotal natin for the year, yung salaries mo, we compute for the annual tax due, pero ma-minus mo yung nabayaran mo na withholding tax and compensation. Yun yung income tax payable mo. As opposed to final withholding tax, wala na. Yung 100% of final withholding tax na remit na kay BIR. Ito, estimate lang, kaya possible pa rin na kulang yung na-withhold mo or pwedeng sobra. Okay, kulang or sobra. Pag sobra, pwede mong i-refund yan. Alright? Okay, tayo sa withholding tax and compensation. Let's go to expanded withholding tax. Okay, let's go to our G-sheets. Sa expanded withholding tax class, naglagay ako ng link dyan. Actually, meron tayong approximately 21 items, more or less 21 items, na subject to EWT. Okay? Pero nilista ko na dyan class yung mga kailangan mo na tandaan. Okay? Hindi mo lahat kailangan tandaan yan. So, check natin. Withholding tax on professional fees, talent fees. Ayan. Pag individual, yung may 3 million threshold tayo. Annual income not exceeding 3 million is 5%. Okay. Annual income exceeding 3 million is 10%. Kapag corporations, mas malaki naman siya. Annual income not exceeding 720, 10%. Annual income exceeding 720, 15%. So, ano ibig sabihin yan, sir? Yung professional fees, talent fees, ano yan, class? For example, lagay tayo dito. Dito tayo sa expanded withholding tax. So, EWT, bigyan tayo ng example. Let's say professional income. Okay? Ganito class nangyayari dyan. For example, si SGB, ayan, audit firm. Professional income yan, tama? So, audit services. Nagre-render siya ng service kay client. Alright? So, si client, magbabayad ng audit fee sa kanya. Okay? Audit fee. Ayan. Yung audit fee na yung class will be subject to expanded withholding tax. Alright? So, ibig sabihin class, si client, hindi niya babayaran ng buo. For example, ang bayad kay SGB is 1 million. Okay? So, yung 1 million na yan, hindi buo marireceive ni SGB yan. Okay? So, since partnership sa SGB, corporation, classified din siya as corporation, let's say yung annual income niya nag-exceed ng 720, so yung final withholding tax is 15%. So, ang gagawin dyan, class, bawasan mo ng 15% yan. Okay? So, that's minus 150,000. Ang marireceive lang ni SGB is 850,000. Ito yung 15%. Nakalagay dyan, corporations, annual income exceeding 720, may 15% yan. Ngayon, class, yung 150,000 na yan, i-remit ni client yan to BIR. Nakuha niyan? Okay. Si client, siya si payer or withholding agent. Got it? Now, si SGP naman, ang gagawin niya, magpe-prepare siya ng ITR. Okay? Let's say lang, April 15. Okay? Yung 1 million na yan, magiging part of ITR yan. And then yung mako-compute niya na annual tax, ima-minus niya yung 150,000. Got it? So, yun yung professional income. Meron pa tayong ibang examples. Okay, number 2, withholding tax on rentals of real and personal properties, 5% of gross rentals. So, last example ko na ito. So, number 2 is rentals. Dito natin lagay. Number 2, rentals. So, ganito naman class yan. So, let's say si landlord, ayan, nagpaparenta siya kay tenant, ayan, tenant. And then si tenant, nagbabayad siya ng rent. For example, 20,000 per month. Alright? Yung 20,000 na yan, technically, dapat net of EWT yan. Okay? Ang babayaran lang ni tenant is 20,000 times 95%. Okay? So, lang natin, 5% of 20,000 is 1,000. Alright? So, ang babayaran talaga dapat dyan ni tenant is 19,000. Yung 1,000 na yan, si tenant dapat ang mag-remit niyan kay BIR. Alright? Kasi siya si payer, siya si withholding agent. Got it? Okay. Next is withholding tax on income payments to certain contractors, 2%. Ayun yung mga example natin, general engineering constructions, building contractors, etc. Withholding tax of estates, 15% of income distribution. Withholding tax on GPP, actually yung estate and GPP, di-discuss natin soon. Basically 10%, 15%. Income distribution, estate and trust, 15%. So yung mga yan, di-discuss natin next time, okay, sa corporations. But basically, class, pag sa EWT, ito yung mga certain transactions, okay, na subject to withholding tax. Wherein the payer, in this case, the client and the tenant, dapat sila na mag-remit doon kay BIR. Got it? So, ayan. Yun yung difference ng CWT and FWT. Now, before we go to our exercises, last one, let's discuss, saan ko ba i-discuss? Yun na lang. Let's discuss the third one. Okay, third one natin is what we call capital gains tax. So, lagyan natin dito, CGT, capital gains tax. Alright, so capital gains tax applies to two items. Number one, sale of unlisted shares of stocks. Okay, unlisted shares of stock. And number two, sale of real property. Ayan. So, yung dalawa lang niyang class, yung subject to capital gains tax. Okay? Now, pag sale of unlisted shares, yung tax rate natin dyan is 15%. Okay? Yung tax base natin, kung saan siya minumultiply, basically, yung 15% is sa gain. Alright? Wherein, we know, in accounting, yung gain is basically selling price minus the cost. Got it? Now, take note class na yung ibig sabihin ng unlisted shares, obviously, hindi siya listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange, and dapat domestic shares yan. Alright? Kasi kapag hindi domestic, kapag foreign yan, subject to basic income tax yan. Hindi capital gains tax. So again, dapat domestic yan. If foreign, subject to basic income tax. Got it? Now, yung sale of real property naman class, yung rate natin dyan is 6%. Alright? And yung tax base natin is different. Hindi naman siya based sa gain. Okay? Ang basis niya class is, titingnan mo yung selling price or the fair market value, piliin mo whichever is higher. Okay? Higher of selling price or fair market value. Wherein yung fair market value class is higher between the assessed value, okay, and zonal value. Okay? So ano difference ng assessed value sa zonal value? Actually class, yung assessed value, makikita mo sa assessor's office yan. So sa provincial capital nyo or sa city hall nyo, may nakalagay dyan, naka-print out, mga assessed value yun. Alright? Ngayon, yung zonal value, ano didetermine yan? Si BIR. Actually, meron yan sa BIR website, mga zonal values. Kung mapansin nyo, sobrang outdated yan. Okay? So, kaya karaniwan class, assessed value yung basis of the fair market value. So, again, yung pag-sale of real property, 6% of the higher between the selling price and fair market value, wherein the fair market value is higher between assessed value and zonal value. So, class, pwede mo isipin na yung 6% is based on 3 items yung i-compare mo. Selling price, assessed value, and zonal value. Piliin mo sino yung highest. Highest of the 3, multiply by 6%. Okay? Sir, bakit ganun? Dito gain, dito naman selling price or fair market value. Ganito yung class. Because kapag sale of real property, madali kasing i-manipulate yan. Okay? Ganito yan. For example, magbibenta ako sa ng lupa. Okay? Let's say 1 hectare. And then yung fair market value niya is 1 million. For example lang, 1 million. Agricultural land. Now, gusto ko makatipid sa tax. No? So 1 million, ang ginawa ko, sige, mag-deed of sale tayo. Lalagay ko lang doon 500,000. Di ba? Ang daling i-manipulate. Kasi sa deed of sale, babaan mo lang yung price mo. Then, bababa na yung tax na babayaran mo kay BIR. Kaya anong nangyari dito? Ginawa dyan, selling price or fair market value, whichever is higher. Kahit 500,000 ilagay mo sa deed of sale, mas mataas pa rin yung fair market value, 1 million. Yun pa rin yung magiging basis of your 6% tax, capital gains tax. Got it? Okay. Now, ito pa yung kailangan mong tandaan for sale of real property. 2 things. The real property must be classified as capital assets. May separate session tayo for capital assets, but for now, tandaan mo muna yan, this real property must be classified as capital assets and dapat located siya in the Philippines. Located in PH. Kapag hindi yan located in the Philippines, subject to basic income tax yan. Alright? So, ganun siya. Okay, so yan lang muna class. Let's go to our handouts. Tapusin natin yung handouts natin. Let's go to problem number 5. Okay. Problem number 5, Mr. Z, a self-employed resident citizen, okay, provided the following data for 2021 taxable year. So, i-erase ko na class ha. So, I think di natin kailangan to. Sige, pwede ko nang i-erase. Question 1, how much is the total income tax expense for Mr. Z for the year? And then question 2, how much is the total income tax? Assuming Mr. Z opted to be taxed at 8% and using the same data, except that gross sales was 3.8 million, how much is the total income tax assuming Mr. Z opted to be taxed at 8%? So, pagkasamahin natin yung concept natin from earlier and this one. Okay? Sige, so meron tayong sales, self-employed siya, resident citizen, so underline mo yun. We have sales, cost of sales, business operating expenses, interest income from peso bank deposit. Class, what is the tax rate for peso bank deposit? Lagay mo na agad dyan, 20%. Okay? So sa tabi, 20% lagay mo dyan. Interest income from a depository bank under the expanded EFCDS. Ilang percent yung class? 20%. So 15%. Pag foreign currency deposit, mas mababa siya, 15% siya. Okay? And then, gain on sale of land in the Philippines held as capital asset with fair market value equal to the selling price. 2 million, zonal value is 1.6 million. So we know, kapag sale of real property, wala na, sinulat ko dito earlier, ang basis mo dyan is higher between selling price and fair market value. Hindi gain, okay? Hindi gain yung basis mo. Again, isipin mo lang, to avoid yung manipulation, okay, of the selling price, ang ginawa ni BAR, selling price or fair market value, whichever is higher. Okay, so let's compute. Dumunta tayo sa question number 1, total income tax. Okay, gagawin ko dyan, ganito class. Kukumpitin ko isa-isa. So basic income tax muna tayo. So basic income tax, meron kang sales na 2.8 million and then meron kang cost of sales na 1,125,000. Tama? We have allowable deductions of 650. Alright? And then yung taxable income natin is, so let's compute. Taxable income, 2.8 million minus 1,125 minus 650, you get 1,025,000. Okay, so 1,025,000 and then tingin tayo sa tax table natin class because kapag basic income tax, tax table or 8%, alright? So sa tax table, taxable income is 1,025,000, so it's between 800,000 and 2 million, okay? So yung tax due natin, tax due is 130,000 plus 30% of in excess of 800,000. So 1,025,000 minus 800,000. So let's compute class. Okay, so 1,025,000 minus 800,000 times 30% plus 130,000, you get 197,500. Basic income tax, 197,500. Okay, let's go to final withholding tax. So again, yung peso bank deposit, ilang percent yung class? 20%. So 80,000 times 20%, you get 16,000. Yung foreign currency naman, 120,000 times 15%, you get 18,000. Okay, 18,000. 16 plus 18, 34,000. As I mentioned earlier, kapag na-subject ka na final withholding tax, as you notice, yung interest income natin, hindi mo siya nilagay dito. Okay? Hindi mo nilagay dito yan. I have 34,000. Let's compute for the capital gains tax. We have selling price is 2 million, fair market value, zonal value 1.6. Again, gamitin natin is the higher. Since equal naman yung selling price and fair market value, let's use yung 2 million. Okay? So capital gains tax natin, 2 million times 6%. Okay, you get 120,000. Total natin yung class, 197,500 basic income tax. We have final withholding tax of 34,000 and capital gains tax of 120. You get 351,500 letter C. Okay, add mo yung tatlo. Total natin is letter C, 351,500. Okay. Number 2, how much is the total income tax assuming Mr. Z opted to be taxed at 8%? Okay, question number 2. What if nag-8% siya? Tingnan natin. Kapag 8%, sabi ni sir, yung gross sales or receipts, which is in this case 2.8 million, add ko yung non-operating income, in this case, actually walang non-operating income, okay? Kasi sabi ko kanina, yung other non-operating income, dapat interest income yun na hindi subject to final withholding tax. Ano yung example nun, sir? For example, class, customer kita, okay? Nag-issue ka ng notes sa akin. So, notes receivable yun sa books ko, tama? Yung notes receivable, yung promissory note, nag-earn ako ng interest doon. Okay? Yung interest income ko from promissory note, hindi siya subject to final withholding tax. Hindi naman siya bank deposit. Alright? So, yung interest income ko na yun, actually, mapupunta siya sa basic income tax. Got it? Ang tawag natin doon is other non-operating income. Kapag mag-8% income tax option ka, doon siya mapupunta, other non-operating income. Got it? So, hindi mo siya ilalagay dito kasi subject to final withholding tax yan. Okay, so meron kang merong gross sales na 2.8 million and then tanggalin mo dyan yung exempt na 250. Don't forget that. Okay, minus 250, you get 2,550,000 na taxable income. Let's take a look at the table. Nandun siya sa row number 5 between 2 million and 8. Hindi pala. Hindi pala to 8% income tax option pala yan. Okay, so times diretso ng 8%. Okay, so 2,550,000 times 8%, you get 204,000. So this is our basic income tax. Okay. 204,000 and then syempre same lang yung final withholding tax mo and capital gains tax. So add natin 204 plus 34,000 final withholding tax plus capital gains tax of 120. Total natin dito class is 358,000 letter D. Total is 358,000 letter D or dog. Question number 3, using the same data except that the gross sales for the year was 3.8 million. How much is the total income tax assuming Mr. Z opted to be taxed at 8%? Okay, so kahit kahit i-signify ni Mr. Z na mag-8% siya, hindi pwede. Bakit sir? Kasi nag-exceed ka ng 3 million yung sales mo. Okay? Pag nag-exceed ng 3 million, automatic, tax table yung gagamitin. So, ang gagawin natin for number 3, merong gross sales, okay, na 3.8 million. Ayan, so 3.8 million. And then, cost of goods sold, which is 1,125,000. And then, allowable deductions natin from the given is 650,000. Therefore, yung taxable income natin is, tingnan natin, 3.8 million minus 1,125,000 minus 650,000. Taxable income, 2,025,000. Okay? 2,025,000. And then, tingnan natin sa tax table natin, row number 5 yan. 490,000 plus 32% in excess of 2 million. Okay? Tax due natin is 490,000 plus 32% in excess of 2 million. So, 2,025,000 minus 2 million. Okay, so let's compute for the tax due. 2,025,000 minus 2 million times 32% plus 490,000, you get 498,000. Okay? So let's, yes, 498,000. 498,000 is our basic income tax. Add natin class yung final withholding tax of 34,000. And then let's add capital gains tax of 120,000. Answer natin dito, 652,000, letter D. Total, 652,000. Okay, so that's your, these are your answers for number 5. Problem number 5. Problem number 6, skip. Okay, skip mo muna yan. Babalikan natin siya pag nagdi-discuss tayo ng gross income. Kasi baka malito kami mga concept kasi dito na sa gross income pa natin malalaman. Pero sa number 6, lagay mo dyan for question 1 is letter A. For question number 2, boy. Okay? Babalikan natin yan soon. Okay na tayo sa 5. Sa 6, okay na yan. 7, okay na. 8, later natin di-discuss yan. Punta tayo sa problem. Okay na yung 9. Problem number 10. Okay? Problem number 10. Mr. X, a resident citizen. So, underline mo na agad yung resident citizen. Very important yan. Okay? Within and without yan. And also, syempre, yung final withholding taxes natin, critical din yung classification of taxpayer. Anyway, question number 1, how much is the taxable income subject to graduated tax table? And then, question number 2, how much is the total final income tax? And then, number 3, how much is the capital gains tax due? Okay, so basically, tinatanong sa atin, how much yung basic income tax, how much is the final withholding tax, and how much is the capital gains tax. Gross sales, Philippines, kasama? Yes. Gross sales, USA, kasama yan? Yes, because resident citizen si Mr. X, within and without the Philippines. Sales returns and allowances, Philippines. Sales returns and allowances, USA. Cost of sales, Philippines. Cost of sales, USA. Business expenses, Philippines. Business expenses, USA. Okay. Yung next items, meron kang interest income na peso, interest income na US, may gain from sale of residential house and lot, gain from sale of shares of stocks, and then, ayan, gain on sale of shares of stocks. Okay, dun tayo sa question number 1. Question number 1, ang gagawin ko lang dyan, class, so this is number 10. Basic income tax, sama. So gross sales, lagay ko dyan, Philippines, you have 1,250,000. You have gross sales, US, 750. We have sales returns and allowances, Philippines, 125, syempre, minus yan. You have sales returns and allowances, USA, 50,000. Our cost of sales, Philippines, 375. Okay, cost of sales, USA, we have 200,000. And then expenses natin, business expenses, Philippines, we have 125. And then business expenses, USA, we have 75. Yun, ito na yung sagot natin. Taxable income, let's compute. Alright, let's compute for taxable income. Okay, so let me change ko lang itong marker natin. Okay. Alright, so tingnan natin class. 1,250,000 plus 750 minus 125 minus 50 minus 375 minus 200 minus 125 and minus 75. Answer natin dyan class is letter C, 1,050,000. 1,050,000. So this is subject to the graduated income tax table. Yan yung taxable income natin. Take note ang tanong lang is taxable income, hindi tax due. So hindi natin kailangan i-apply yung tax table natin. Let's go to question number 2. Total final tax on passive income. Actually, for question number 2, ignore mo muna yung choices. Okay? Ignore mo yung choices. But basically, meron tayong interest income from peso bank deposit. Lagay ko na lang peso. You have 10,000 and then resident citizen siya. So final withholding tax natin dyan is 20%. 10,000 times 20% is 2,000. And then yung US dollar deposit naman class, 25,000 times 15%. Okay? Kasi foreign currency deposit yan, 3,750. Okay? 3,750. Final answer natin class for question number 2 is 5,750. Ignore mo yung choices kasi wala sa choices. 5,750. Okay. Let's go to capital gains tax. Question number 3, CGT. Okay, tingnan natin. Yung last 3 items. Gain from sale of residential house and lot, selling price 900,000, fair market value 1 million. Ano yung basis natin? Higher between selling price and fair market value. In this case, meron tayong fair market value of 1 million times 6%, you have 60,000. Alright? Next, gain from sale of shares of stock listed and traded in the local stock exchange. So class, pag traded siya, okay, yung tax, ang tawag dun sa tax na imposed sa kanya is stock transactions tax, okay, which is an example of percentage tax. Next time natin i-discuss yun. Actually, it's 6/10 of 1% yung tax sa kanila. But, hindi yung capital gains tax. Okay, yung capital gains tax, again, applicable lang yan sa unlisted shares, which is yung last item. Gain from sale of shares of stock not traded in the local stock exchange. So that is 150,000. So ito yung shares, 150,000 times, ilang percent yung shares? 15%. Okay, 150,000 times 15%, you have 22,500. 60,000 plus 22,500, you have 82,500, letter B or boy. Alright, boy. Next is number 11. Number 11 is about dividends. Okay, pag tingnan mo yung tax code, malilito ka dyan, class, kasi ang daming kalat-kalat yung dividends dyan. Alright, so gumawa ako ng table to simplify everything. Punta ka dun sa dividends sheet, okay? And then, if you see, simple lang naman yung table natin na yan. Meron kang from, okay, dun dito sa left side, from, and then sa taas, to. Ibig sabihin, ito yung from, yan yung nag-declare ng dividends. Yung to, sila yung naka-receive ng dividends. Got it? Okay. Sino ba yung nagde-declare ng dividends? Well, corporations yan. Corporations, we will learn next time, sa next topic natin, pwedeng domestic corporation, resident foreign corp, or non-resident foreign corp. Okay. Pwedeng maka-receive ng dividends na yun, individuals or corporations din. Okay? Pero for now, doon mo tayo sa individuals kasi yung topic natin. So, focus ko muna sa table natin, class. Okay, kapag nag-declare is domestic corporation, right, ang naka-receive is resident citizen, 10%. Non-resident citizen, 10%. Resident alien, 10%. NRA ETB, 20%. NRA and ETB, 25%. Okay? Kapag naman ang nag-declare is resident foreign corporation, ordinary income naman yan for resident citizen. When you say ordinary income, ibig sabihin, class, basic income tax yan. Right? Papasok ng taxable income yan. Okay. Kapag ang naka-receive naman is ordinary, or pag ang nag-declare is resident foreign, ang naka-receive is non-resident citizen, ordinary income. Pero may asterisk. Nakita niyo yung asterisk? Nakalagay dyan, assuming it passed the predominance test. Ano yung predominance test? Actually, na-mention ko na yan sa general principles. Sa individuals part 1. When you say predominance test, yan yung sinabi ko na at least 50% earned sa Philippines for the past 3 years. Okay? Para ma-consider mo siya na income earned within the Philippines. Okay? Ang threshold natin is at least 50% for the past 3 years. Kapag less than 50%, yung entire dividend nakalagay dyan sa letter B is earned outside the Philippines, hence not taxable in the Philippines. Okay? Kaya may asterisk. Ibig sabihin, ang assumption dito, na-pass niya yung predominance test. Pag hindi na-pass yung predominance test, hindi yan taxable sa Philippines. Got it? Same thing for resident alien, non-resident alien, engaged in trade or business, but for NRA and ETB, 25%. Right? Pag ang nag-declare naman, class, is non-resident foreign corporation, naka-receive is resident citizen, ordinary income. So as you notice, class, walang asterisk for resident citizen. Kasi hindi applicable sa resident citizen yung predominance test. Bakit, sir? Because for resident citizen, taxable ka globally. Okay? Kaya hindi sa'yo applicable yung predominance test. Kapag naman, class, ang naka-receive is non-resident citizen. So tingnan mo ta, NA yung nakalagay. Bakit, sir? Okay. NRFC, okay, non-resident foreign, ang naka-receive non-resident citizen. Since parehong non-resident yan, alam natin, class, yung non-resident citizen, taxable lang siya within the Philippines. Okay? So, it means, outside the Philippines yan kapag ang nag-declare is non-resident foreign. Okay? And we know, kapag NRC ka, RA, NRA ETB, and NRA NETB, kapag earned outside the Philippines, hindi yan taxable in the Philippines. Kaya NA sila lahat. Ulitin ko, ha? Okay, doon tayo sa NRFC. Pag non-resident foreign yung nag-declare, outside the Philippines yun. Okay? Pero pag resident citizen ka, hindi mag-matter yan kasi taxable ka globally. Pero if you are NRC, RA, and NRA, hindi ka taxable outside the Philippines or hindi ka taxable for income earned outside the Philippines. Kaya not applicable yung nakalagay dyan. Got it? Okay. So, for now, familiarize yourselves muna. Pero, ayan, again, next time, kapag exam na, dapat alam mo yan. Alright? Sige. Next time, yung corporations naman tayo. Let's go to number 11. Mr. Z, a non-resident Japanese stockholder. Mr. Z, a non-resident Japanese stockholder. So, ano yung classification niya? So, non-resident siya. So, and then Japanese siya. So, ibig sabihin, non-resident alien siya. Tama? Non-resident Japanese stockholder, receive a dividend income of 300,000 in 2021 from ABC Corporation. Okay? A foreign corporation doing business in the Philippines. Ano ibig sabihin class ng foreign corporation doing business in the Philippines? Ang tawag dyan is resident foreign corporation. Sulat mo muna, next time di-discuss natin yan. The gross income of ABC Corporation from sources within and without the Philippines for the past 3 years preceding 2021 is provided as follows. Ayan. So, source, meron kang Philippines and abroad. Tingnan natin class. I-total natin. Total mo yung Philippines, 16 million plus 15 million plus 17. Okay, so yung Philippines, nakita mo class yung total niyan is 48 million for the past 3 years. Okay. So abroad naman, let's see so 8 million plus 11 plus 13, 32 million. Yan. So 48 plus 32, that's 80 million. 48 divided by 80, that is 60%. Okay. So ibig sabihin, pumasa siya sa predominance test. 3 years, at least 50%. 60% nakuha natin na earned sa Philippines, pasado sa predominance test. Okay? Now, tingnan natin class. The amount of income subject to tax should be. Alright, so amount of income subject to tax should be. So, hindi sinabi class dito na non-resident, kung anong klaseng non-resident alien siya. Okay, so dagdagan natin yung given. Let's say this is an NRA and ETB. Okay? Yan yung gawin natin yung example. Let's say hindi siya nagstay nagstay lang siya dito less than 180 days. So let's say si Mr. Z is an NRA and ETB. Okay? Now, if NRA and ETB siya, ibig sabihin class, yung dividends came from RFC to NRA and ETB. Tama? And sabi dun sa table natin, pag RFC to NRA and ETB, subject to 25%. Okay? Final withholding tax. Now, si NRA and ETB, taxable lang siya within the Philippines. So, ang na-receive niya na dividends, 300,000. Alright? And then, ilang percent yung Philippines? 60%. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, 300,000 times 60%, 180,000. Ito lang yung earned within the Philippines. So, ang sagot natin diyang class, 180,000 letter C. Okay? Kapag ang nangyari class, dito, hindi 60%, let's say naging less than 50% ka, answer mo dito is 0. Okay? Magiging earned lahat outside the Philippines yan. Got it? Okay. Next, question number 2. Mr. Z is subject to, letter C yung sagot, final withholding tax of 25% on 180,000. 180 times 25%, that's the tax on the dividends. Alright. Question number 3. Assuming ABC Corporation is a domestic corporation, the amount of income tax should be, erase natin to. So number 3, what if, ang nangyari yung class, instead of RFC daw, domestic corp. Domestic corp, ang naka-receive NRA and ETB. So tingnan natin yung table natin. Domestic corp and then NRA and ETB. Okay? So ibig sabihin class, 25% FWT pa din. But in this case, lahat yan na 300,000, okay, earned na siya within the Philippines. Okay? So kapag domestic corp yung nag-declare class, wala ka ng problema dun sa predominance test. Yung predominance test, applicable lang siya sa resident foreign corporation. Tandaan mo yun Yung predominance test, applicable lang sa RFC. Kapag domestic corporation, 100% na yan, earned na within the Philippines. That's why answer natin dito, 300,000 times 100%. Okay? Answer, 300,000 letter D. Letter dog. Ayan. Ayan. Okay, so that's for number 11. Let's go to number, ano pa kasi di natin nasagutan? Let's go to number 8. Number 8. Okay? Number 8, erase ko na to. Okay, so let's go to number 8. Scenario 1, compute the income tax payable of Mr. Y assuming he is classified as a resident citizen. Compute the income tax payable of Mr. Y assuming he is classified as a resident alien. And then disregarding professional business income, the total income tax that should be withheld from the salaries of Mr. Y, assuming he is classified as an NRA and ETB. Okay, tingnan natin. Mr. Y had the following data for the current taxable year. Meron siyang exchange rate is $1 is 50 pesos. Okay. Meron siyang Philippines and abroad. May na-earn siya sa Philippines, may na-earn siya sa abroad. So we know Philippines is within, abroad naman is without. Okay, so convert na natin class sa peso yung abroad na yan. 20,000 times 50 pesos exchange rate. So lagay mo dyan, it's 1 million. 10,000 times 50, that's 500,000. Okay, 8,000 times 50, write it down. 400,000 and then 4,000 times 50, 200,000. So lagay mo na siya dyan. And then, what else? We have, ayan. Tingnan natin, compute the income tax payable of Mr. Y assuming he is classified as resident citizen. Pag resident citizen ka class, taxable ka globally. So, gagawin ko lang dyan sa scenario number 1, meron akong Philippines, okay, meron akong abroad, okay, and then total natin siya. Tingnan natin so ito yung business income, BI na lang, business income, 1 million, and then sa abroad, 1 million din. Total is 2 million. we have professional income, 400,000 sa Philippines, 500,000 abroad, you have 900,000. Alright? And then meron ka salaries. Okay, so salaries, 200,000 in the Philippines, wala sa abroad, total is 200,000. Expenses natin, 250,000 in the Philippines, and then abroad naman, it's 400,000, total is 650,000. Ayan. So let's compute the taxable income. For the Philippines muna, 1 million plus 400 plus 200 minus 250,000, you get 1,350,000. Right? So 1,350,000. And then abroad naman class, 1 million plus 500,000 minus 400,000, you get 1.1 million. So 1.1 million plus 1,350,000, answer 2,450,000. Okay. So ito yung magiging basis natin, 2,450 kasi within and without kapag resident citizen. Now, apply natin yung tax table natin, 2,450,000. Therefore, ipupunta ka sa tax table natin, punta ka sa row number 5, 490,000 plus 32% in excess of 2 million. 490 plus 32% in excess of 2 million. 2,450 minus 2 million. Right? 2,450 minus 2 million times 32% plus 490,000, you get 490,000. You get 634,000. Yan na ba yung sagot, class? Answer is no. Okay? Kasi class, ganito yan. Di ba, si resident citizen ka. Kinuha mo yung income sa Philippines, kinuha mo yung income abroad. In-apply mo yung tax table natin, you get 634,000. Pero take note, class, yung 1.1 na yan, nagbayad ka ng tax for that abroad. For example, sa US. Binayaran mo na yan sa US. Okay? So, kung babayaran mo siya ulit sa Philippines, direct double taxation yan. Tama? Ngayon, may remedy yan kapag sa mga taxpayers. And applicable lang to for resident citizen. Kasi kapag hindi ka resident citizen, hindi ka naman taxable abroad. Tama? So, ang gagawin mo, class, pwede mong i-minus yung tax na binayad mo abroad. Ang tawag natin doon, tax credits. Para siyang creditable withholding tax kanina. Di ba? Na-minus mo yun. Parang ganito din siya. Alright? So, how much yung actual na binayad natin abroad? Yung actual, class, is 200,000. Tama? It's 4,000 times 50 pesos per dollar. Okay, ang tawag natin dito, this is the tax credit. So, meron kang actual, and then meron kang limit. Nagko-compute ka rin ng limit. Sir, how do we compute for the limit? Ganito siya, class. Computational limit, i-proporate mo using taxable income. Okay, yung taxable income abroad, 1.1 million. 1.1 million over 2,450,000, multiply natin by yung total tax na compute mo, 634,000. Okay, so 634,000 times 1.1 divided by 2,450, 284,653. Ito yung limit mo. So, ibig sabihin, class, pipiliin mo whichever is lower. Right? Lower dyan is 200,000. So, tandaan mo lang, class, sa point of view ni BIR, kapag may mga tax credits ng ganyan, may mga deductions, mas gusto ni BIR na lower. Okay? Kasi syempre, mas mataas yung magiging tax payment kay BIR if lower yung mga deductions mo. Okay? Tandaan mo, kaya may mga limit na ganyan. So, 634 minus 200, which is yung binayad mo abroad, sagot natin dito, class, is 434,000, letter A. Alright, letter A yung sagot mo dyan. Now, para maalala mo to, class, okay? Ito kasi medyo mahirap tandaan. Isipin mo lang ganito. Yung 634,000, ito yung total tax mo. Tama? And nanggaling siya from 1,350 and 1.1, which is the Philippines and abroad. So, kumbaga, parang from 634,000, alin yung nag-contribute dyan na from abroad? Hindi yung 1.1 million. Okay? So, 1.1 million over 2,450, iyan yung tax mo na nag-contribute dyan yung abroad. Right? Therefore, ito yung limit mo. Prinorate mo na siya using taxable income. Piliin mo whichever is lower, yung actual payment mo abroad or yung na-compute natin, i-minus mo sa tax due natin, you have income tax payable 434,000, letter A. Compute for the income tax payable assuming he is classified as a resident alien. Okay, so number 2, what if resident alien? Number 1 kasi is resident citizen. Right? Pag resident alien ka, taxable ka lang within the Philippines. So 1,350,000 ka lang. Okay, so taxable income natin, 1,350,000. If we apply yung tax table natin, makikita mo siya sa between 800,000 and 2 million. Tama? Let's compute the tax due. It's 130,000 plus 30% in excess of 800,000. 1,350 minus 800,000. Alright, so let's compute. 1,350,000 minus 800 times 30% plus 130,000, you get 295,000. Letter A, 295,000. Take note, class, na yung resident alien, hindi applicable sa kanya to, yung tax credits. Bakit ulit? Because resident aliens are only taxable for income within the Philippines. Okay? Kaya pang resident citizen lang to. Got it? And then number 3, what if NRA and ETB siya? I-disregard daw natin yung professional and business income. So, ibig sabihin, salaries lang. Okay? So, ang gagawin ko lang dyan, class, salaries niya, within the Philippines, okay, NRA and ETB, within the Philippines, how much? it's 200,000. Tama? 200,000. Alam natin class, kapag NRA, NETB ka, ang tax rate mo is 25% final withholding tax. 200,000 times 25%. Ang sagot natin dyan class is 50,000 final withholding tax. That is letter A. A, and A. Alright. So that's for, that's for number ba yan? Number 8. So ano pa class hindi natin nasagutan? Okay, number 7, number 8, okay na yan. Number 9, okay na rin yan. 10, 11 is okay na. Let's go to numbers 12 and 13. Last na for individuals. Okay, mabilis na to class. Let's discuss yung about minimum wage earners. Okay, so last one na to. And then actually next meeting natin is corporations na tayo. So yeah, so let's see. Minimum wage earners. So discuss muna natin yan, mabilisan lang class. Sir, sino ba yung mga minimum wage earners na yan? Or MWEs? Minimum wage earners class, they are workers, okay, or employees earning not more than the statutory minimum wage. Okay? Not more than, okay? Not more than the statutory minimum wage. Okay? Depende yung class. Sir, how much ba yung minimum wage na yan? So, tingnan natin. If private sector ka, nag-work, or public sector. Okay? If private sector ka, you are classified as a minimum wage earner if you are paid the statutory minimum wage. Papakita ko later, meron tayo sa G-sheets yan. If naman public sector ka, okay, sa government office ka nag-work, if yung compensation mo, okay, does not exceed the statutory minimum wage in the non-agricultural sector. Non-agricultural sector. Yan yung definition of minimum wage earner. So, ulitin ko. Minimum wage earners ka kasi kailangan natin malaman kung how much yung minimum wage na yan. Kapag private sector ka, you are paid the statutory minimum wage. Kapag ka naman sa public sector ka nag-work, yung compensation mo does not exceed yung statutory minimum wage in the non-agricultural sector. Ito yung important, yung non-agricultural. Okay, now, yung minimum wage na yung class is set by the National Wages and Productivity Commission. Ayan. Or NWPC. Sila yung nagsiset niyan. Actually, yung NWPC na yan is under DOLE or Department of Labor and Employment. Okay? It's under DOLE. Okay, so tignan natin class. Punta tayo sa G-sheets natin. Makikita nyo dyan class, naglagay ako ng link. Okay? Para may idea kayo kung how much ba yung minimum wage na yan. So, open natin. Ayan. So, meron akong dalawang link dyan. Open natin para magka-idea tayo. Alright, so yung first link, as you notice, ibaba mo siya, makikita mo dyan, daily minimum wage rates, NCR, 500 to 537. Nakita mo yan? And then, CAR, 340 to 350. Region 1, 282 to 340. Again, daily yan. So, everyday na yan. Daily wage yan. Region 1, Region 3, Region 2, Region 3, Region 4, and so on and so forth. Ito yung minimum wage for private sector. Para may idea ka, sa NCR, it's between 500 pesos and 537 per day. Okay? Kapag ganyan yung wage, minimum wage earner yan. Got it? Punta ka doon sa isang link. Makita mo dyan, merong, may PDF dyan na nakalagay. Basically, makikita mo, region, non-agriculture, and then agriculture. Sabi dito class, kapag public sector, magre-refer ko doon sa non-agriculture. Okay? NCR, 434. CAR, 279. Region 1, 268, and so on and so on. Magkaiba sila. Okay? So, para malaman mo if minimum wage earner, ito sa totoong buhay, dito ka magre-refer. Got it? Pero syempre sa mga textbooks natin, nakalagay dyan na minimum wage earner yung employee, okay, or yung worker. Alright? Pero basically, ganyan siya. Now, ano yung tax implications for minimum wage earners? Basically, class, ito lang tatandaan mo dyan. They are exempt from income tax. Exempt from income tax, including their minimum wage, okay, holiday pay, what else? Night shift differential, hazard pay, and then overtime pay. Okay? So basically, class, pag minimum wage earner, okay, sinasabi sa problem yan, if minimum wage earner or not, if sa totoong buhay naman, check mo to, yung dalawang links na binigay ko sa'yo. Ang kailangan mo lang tandaan, magbabayad sila na zero income tax. Okay, let's go to number 12. Mr. X is a minimum wage earner. He is not engaged in business nor has any other source of income other than his employment. In 2021, he earned a total compensation of 135. He also received overtime pay, night shift differential, hazard pay, holiday pay, contributed SSS, PhilHealth Pag-ibig, 13th-month pay, and so on and so forth. Ang dami sinabi, okay? Ang tanong is income tax liability, the fact na sinabing minimum wage earner yan, letter A na sagot dyan, 12, 0. Yun lang, okay? Exempt siya from income tax. Number 13, okay, dagdagan natin ng konting complication. Mr. Y, single, is a minimum wage earner. In addition to his basic minimum wage of 150, he also received the following. De minimis, 60, okay, 20,000 over the ceiling. Meron tayong separate session for that, okay, yung fringe benefits. Next time natin i-discuss yan. 13th-month pay and other benefits, holiday pay, overtime pay, night shift differential, hazard pay, and so on and so forth. How much is the income tax due of Mr. Y? Answer is 0 pa rin. Dog for question number 1. Alright? Again, the fact na sinabing minimum wage earner, automatic. Pagdating dun sa compensation income niya, 0 yung babayaran niya. Alright? 0 yan. Dog yung sagot natin dyan. What if, question number 2, how much is the income tax due assuming he also earned 450,000 derived from his business? Ayan. So, dito na may complication. Ang nangyari dito, class, okay, minimum wage earner siya pagdating dun sa compensation income niya. Tama? Kaya lang may business siya na nag-earn ng 450,000 which is beyond the 250,000 threshold natin for income tax. Ano gagawin mo dun, sir? Actually, marami ng cases na nangyari dyan, class. Maraming regulations, etc. Ang pinaka-reason dyan is RR 11 2018. Actually, nilagay yata sa G-Sheets yan. Okay, nakalagay sa G-Sheets, ganito. RR 11 2018. Pansinin mo lang yung nakabold. Okay, actually, last part na lang pansin mo. In other words, okay, the income tax exemption of minimum wage earners covers only their basic pay. Okay? Any additional compensation are not covered by the exemption and shall therefore be subject to tax. So, ganito mangyayari dyan, class. Sa number 13 na yan, yung na-receive ng minimum wage earner, okay, magiging, yung na-receive ng minimum wage earner na yan, 0 yung sagot dyan, okay? 0 yung sagot sa question number 1. Pero yung business income, hindi siya covered dun sa minimum wage niya, alright? Yung business income component, magiging subject yan to tax, right? So, ganito gagawin natin for question number 2. Business income, 450,000, and then meron kang de minimis, okay, na 20,000. So, soon, aralin natin yan. And then, meron kang 13th-month pay, which is 112,000. The total is, so 20 plus 112, that's 132,000. Okay, 132,000. Yung exempt natin dyan, class, again, is 90,000. Okay, 90,000. 30th month and other benefits. Yun yun. Exempt mo is 90,000. Yung excess sa exempt na yan, pupunta yan sa basic income tax mo. 132 minus 90, that's 42,000. Alright? 450 plus 42,000, you have your taxable income na 492,000. Okay? Let's compute the tax due. 492,000, let's see. Nandun siya sa 492, in between 400 and 800. Okay? So that's 30,000 plus 25% in excess of 400,000. So 492 minus 400,000. Let's see, 492,000 minus 400,000 times 25% plus 30,000. Answer natin dito, class, is 53,000. Letter boy, 53,000. Alright? Okay, so basahin ulit natin, class, yung RR na yan para malinaw. So analyze natin, ha? So, RR 11-2018 provides that for minimum wage earners, their statutory minimum wage, holiday pay, night shift differential shall be exempt. Okay? Additional compensation such as commissions in excess of the mandatory and taxable of 90 shall be subject to withholding tax using the revised withholding tax table. Okay. Class, sagutan ulit natin yung question 1. So, this is question 2. Malinaw na yan. Yung question 1 natin, okay, yung minimum wage, exempt na yan. So, pwede mo na ignore yung 150,000. Yung de minimis, okay, yung de minimis natin, 60,000, 20,000 over the ceiling, yung consider mo lang dyan yung over the ceiling, expound natin yan sa fringe benefits, and then 13th month pay, you have 112,000. So, yung total nito, class, is 132,000. Tama? Exempt natin is 90,000. Therefore, yung taxable sa atin is 42. Sabi dyan, class, sa second paragraph, additional compensation in excess of 90,000, okay, and other taxable income shall be subject to withholding tax using the revised withholding tax table. Ibig sabihin, class, yung 42,000, taxable income yan. Got it? So, taxable income yan. Kaya lang, class, yung 42,000, nandun siya sa first row natin. Nandun siya sa 0 to 250,000, which is 0% tax rate. Alright? Kaya 42,000 times 0% is 0 yung sagot natin for question number 1. Alright? So, again, minimum wage earners, ang exempt sa kanila yung statutory minimum wage, holiday pay, overtime pay, night shift differential, hazard pay. Alright? Pag sumobra sila dito sa 90,000 exempt natin, magiging taxable income yan. Kaya lang, sa problem natin, 42,000 is below 250,000 threshold, zero pa rin yung sagot natin dyan. Pag nagkaroon siya ng business income, hindi ito makakover ng exemption, so meron kang separate computation for the business income. Got it? Alright. So again, expound natin yan, yung mga 13-month pay, de minimis sa next time, sa fringe benefits yan. Alright, so I think na-discuss na natin lahat for the individuals. Meron pa tayong theories yata. Let's go to theory number 20. Ayan. Theory number 20, one of the following individuals is not subject to withholding tax on compensation. A, an individual who derives compensation from two or more employers at any time during the taxable year. Pwede yun. Especially kapag sumobra. Pag hindi ka minimum wage earner, well, subject ka to withholding tax on compensation. B, an individual who has compensation in business income. Yes, subject din yan. An individual whose gross income is more than 220. More than 220, so pwedeng 250, pwedeng 300, pwedeng 500, and so on. Subject din yan. D, an individual whose monthly gross compensation income is 8,000. So 8,000 times 12, that is only 96,000, which is way below 250,000. Okay? So since below 250,000 ka, letter dog is not subject to withholding tax on compensation. Dog yung sagot for number 22. 23, the withholding tax system was devised for the following reasons, except A, to provide the taxpayer a convenient manner to meet his probable income tax liability, correct? To ensure the collection of the income tax, correct? So instead of si BAR maghintay siya up to April 15, hindi na. Every 15 and 30th, nagwi-withhold na sa kanya yung employers. Okay? To improve the government's cash flow, and D, to do away with the filing of income tax returns. Actually, tama rin yung D. Okay? Kasi class, kapag yung employer mo nag-withhold sa'yo, ang tawag natin doon, substituted filing, siya na bahala mag-file ng ITR mo. Okay? Actually, sagot natin dito is letter C. To improve the government's cash flow. Kasi class, regardless of na may withholding tax system or wala, okay? Yung total na tax liability mo, kailangan bayaran mo pa rin sa BIR yan. It's just that sa withholding tax system, ina-advance payment lang kay BIR. Okay? But 100% kailangan pa rin bayaran kay BIR. C yung sagot natin sa number 23. 24, individual taxpayers are subject to the following income tax. Basic tax, yes. Final withholding tax on passive income, yes. Capital gains tax, yes. Answer for number 24, all of the above, 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so I think that's the end of our discussion on individuals. Next meeting, let's start our discussion on corporations.